Akira Toriyama's Dragon Ball is one of the most successful franchises of all time, anime or otherwise. Audiences are genuinely invested in Goku's heroic adventures and how he'll continue to grow over time. That being said, it's not uncommon for other characters and supporting players to become more popular than a series protagonist. Dragon Ball has such a powerful and eclectic cast of characters that it's no surprise many of its heroes and villains have become even more popular and iconic than Goku himself. Goku is full of surprises, but he's limited in terms of his design and actions. On the other hand, the rest of Dragon Ball's cast are allowed more leeway in this department, which is an easy way for fringe figures to turn into celebrated characters fans can't get enough of. Dragon Ball already explored the evil Goku idea from several angles, with Tulls in the Tree of Might and Captain Ginyu successfully swapping bodies with the Scion. Dragon Ball Super's Goku Black goes much further in this department. The evil character is the main antagonist of the future Trunks saga and responsible for the continued destruction of Trunks' timeline. Goku Black, who is actually Zamasu, has become an iconic Dragon Ball character whose reputation has far surpassed his role in the anime. Goku Black's ruthless killer instinct, intimidating attire, and striking Super Saiyan Rose transformation have all helped him stand out as one of the franchise's most celebrated villains. Dragon Ball Z's Cell Saga introduces a handful of malevolent machines, but androids 17 and 18 leave the greatest impression. There's a scary, steely nature to these two androids because of how much future Trunks has built them up, along with real stakes over whether Cell will absorb them. Android 18's subsequent relationship with Krillin is extremely heartwarming, but 17's ongoing popularity has helped expand his brand. His return in Dragon Ball Super is one of the anime's most celebrated decisions, and his corruption into a villain in Dragon Ball GT, while less popular, still takes advantage of the character's appeal. The original Dragon Ball really starts to find its rhythm once Krillin invades Master Roshi's home and begins rigorous training alongside Goku for the 21st World Martial Arts Tournament. Krillin is limited by the fact that he's a human, yet he continues to accomplish remarkable things. Krillin isn't quite an audience surrogate, but he's an iconic ally who always helps improve a scene. He's the best version of a retired character who successfully balances a job, family, and his passion for martial arts. Krillin's return to the battlefield in Dragon Ball Super is genuinely inspiring, and the powerful history he shares with Goku makes him an indispensable part of the series, even if he's rarely responsible for taking out major villains. Vegeta first made waves in Dragon Ball Z as an intimidating, powerful villain who was essentially Goku's antithesis. Both are strong Saiyans, but Vegeta uses his power to hurt and subjugate others. It takes some time, but Vegeta's transition to hero is one of Dragon Ball Z's best developments. It's a process that happens naturally, almost as if it sneaks up on Vegeta himself, but the decision to give him a family that he cares about is a narrative triumph. Vegeta has become a dutiful ally willing to sacrifice himself for the planet, yet he still retains his fiery aggression and inflated ego. Vegeta is willing to go to places that Goku won't, and he'll frequently take lives, while Goku continues to embrace rehabilitation over retribution. His tough guy attitude also naturally facilitates some comical moments that wouldn't resonate as strongly if they were happening to Goku. Vegeta's kid-sized transformation in Dragon Ball Daima is one of the most recent examples. Vegeta's redemption arc gets a lot of love, but Piccolo's is even more impressive in many ways. Piccolo is introduced as Demon King Piccolo's reincarnated offspring whose express purpose is to kill Goku and take over the world. Goku and Piccolo's rivalry comes to a head in the 23rd World Martial Arts Tournament, only for the duo to turn into unlikely allies when the superior Raditz attacks early on in Dragon Ball Z. What's so interesting about Piccolo is that he never plans to be a hero, yet this nuance and character development gets thrust upon him after Goku dies, and he takes Gohan under his wing for training purposes. Piccolo's bond with Gohan is the first time that the Namekian feels like a man, rather than a monster, and he makes his first friend. Piccolo's decision to sacrifice himself to save Gohan solidifies his status as a hero, and this rewarding bond only continues to mature. Piccolo is a character who is constantly training and never neglects the pursuit of becoming stronger. He's responsible for some of Dragon Ball Z's most creative fights, and his recent Orange Piccolo transformation means that there's more greatness to come for him. It's easy to see why Akira Toriyama often cited Piccolo as his favorite character. Gohan matures from a young child into an adult with a child of his own by the end of Dragon Ball Z and, in many ways, his journey is even more impressive than Goku's. Gohan shares a lot in common with Goku, but he's prone to a reserved nature which bottles up an aggression that's often the key to him surpassing his limits. Gohan participates in some of Dragon Ball Z's biggest battles as a child and gradually realizes his potential when he becomes the first character to turn Super Saiyan 2. Dragon Ball Z ultimately backpedals on its decision to make Gohan the protagonist following Goku's death, but he's still allowed to grow in a way that feels authentic to his character. Gohan's recent Dragon Ball Super redemption arc has made him the series' strongest hero. The excitement around Gohan Beast and his ability to carry Dragon Ball Superhero without Goku or Vegeta is a testament to how iconic Gohan has become. Future Trunks still has one of the greatest Dragon Ball introductions of all time. His surprise takedown of Mecha Fria and King Cold, not to mention the revelation he's a Super Saiyan, is a crucial turning point for the franchise. Future Trunks benefits from an excellent design and a distinct weapon, his signature sword, which is an effective detail that helps him stand out from the rest of Dragon Ball's heroes. Future Trunks represents hope and the ability to change one's fate, which is such a powerful message. Trunks is only around for a fraction of the series, but he's remained relevant and fans were elated when he returned in Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Sparking Zero even expands upon Future Trunks' Dragon Ball Super appearance in order to take advantage of the passionate fandom that surrounds him. The English dub's use of Future Trunks in Dragon Ball Z's opening credits, long before he even shows up in the anime, also helped feed fan theories and speculation. Dragon Ball Z's Frieza saga is one of the anime's most important story arcs. Not only does Frieza kill some of Dragon Ball's most important characters, like Krillin and Vegeta, his callous actions trigger Goku's Super Saiyan transformation. Many fans would agree that the battle between Goku and Frieza goes on for far too long and is weakened by its padding filler. However, Frieza's hefty role only helped make the villain more iconic. Frieza makes some unofficial returns in Dragon Ball Z, Fusion Reborn, The Otherworld Saga, and Dragon Ball GT. More recently, Frieza has been properly worked back into the narrative after his Golden Frieza resurrection, participation in the Tournament of Power, and his Black Frieza evolution, the latter of which has seemingly made him the strongest person in Universe 7. Frieza's repeated opportunities to cause greater chaos reflect how synonymous he's become with evil in Dragon Ball. He remains the franchise's most iconic villain. Dragon Ball Z's non-canon movies were often viewed as smart ways to test out new characters and concepts, in order to gauge interest. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly is a punishing powerhouse who audiences were very much on board with, and the value in a deadly Saiyan who puts everyone else to shame was very well received. Broly became such an iconic villain that he was the focus of 3 separate movies and incorporated into endless Dragon Ball video games. Broly's popularity and name recognition even led to him being the central threat in Dragon Ball Super's first feature film. Dragon Ball Super has only made Broly more popular. The decision to turn him into a tragic figure, rather than a blunt weapon of destruction, has increased his depth and longevity as a permanent part of the cast. Audiences can never get enough of Broly, and fans are already excited to consider the role that he'll have in the Dragon Ball Super manga's next story arc. Fusion is a polarizing concept, albeit one that Dragon Ball has fully embraced. It makes a lot of sense that the process of combining 2 already popular characters together into one individual would result in several fan-favorite creations. Curiously, Gogeta is a more fringe fusion of Goku and Vegeta and didn't even become canon until Dragon Ball Super Broly. That said, Gogeta seemed to always have more cash than Vegito, despite the latter's role against Super Buu in Dragon Ball Z. The mystery behind Gogeta worked in the character's favor, and he's become one of Dragon Ball's most successful marketing tools. Gogeta was an easy way to excite the fandom when he showed up in Dragon Ball GT's final fight and the climax of Dragon Ball Super Broly.